Some months ago, I was asked a question about Jokic. I did, and I decided to do in increments because I had done a part earlier. So I had to take a few months to reevaluate this one. And this one was asking me, did I think if Jokic had played on the Detroit Pistons instead of Ben Wallace, are they more successful? And my answer is no. Let me explain something. As an offensive player, he runs circles around Ben Wallace. He plats the fro, he ties in the knot, and but just because you're better in a particulars does not mean you're the right fit. Now, the thing is this: Ben Wallace was the right fit for that Pistons team. And as a defensive player, he was so good that he earned a top 10 for MVP considerations. Now, that may seem like small fries compared to what Jokic has done and does. However, that was a big deal for a defensive player to be defensive minded. See, the thing about the Pistons is this: you had to have a certain mindset to lead. But what really hurt Detroit is not getting a Carmelo Anthony or Dwayne Wade to play with Chauncey. Apparently, Chauncey Billups was been cool with Melo. Ben Wallace wouldn't have been. And as I had stated some time ago, Ben Wallace probably because Melo didn't play no defense. That wasn't his specialty. And it's hard to get a guy that can do both. Like Dwayne Wade would have been right to what they were. If Tayshaun Prince had probably about 5 or 6 more points in his arsenal's offensive player, you'd have been almost thinking of a Scottie Pippen left-handed version, but in the second tier version. But you had to have the right parts to go alongside with Rasheed Wallace, and they did get Antonio McDyess to try to pep up more offense, but wrong position. You needed a two guard or a guy who was that could score like that. But to take Ben Wallace, who was the anchor of their ship, imagine he had to go against Shaq and what he had to do and endure and go against Duncan and all that. You got to have the right piece. Jokic offensively can offset. I don't think he would have been able to do what Ben Wallace do. And see, this is where people got to stop thinking in terms of that. They look at the statistical part, and it was a different brand of basketball, you know. But I'll tell you this to the people who are naysayers: Ben Wallace's style would actually still work today if you just allow the enforcer and to play a position where you don't have to ask a lot and you get those rebounds, those blocks, and those shots that didn't go in, what's the term I want to use statistically? Those that those distracted plays, he would be your man. He could still work today. They just don't want his style back in the NBA. But the reason is, before people go on about, well, Jokic has got this over Ben, and it's not that I'm saying would fit with the team, because you got to think about the style. People a lot of times are so quick to think, well, this guy would because he did this. That don't mean he would have worked in that situation the same. It don't mean that it would work from that particular position. There was a certain type of accordance that with Ben Wallace that team played with. They don't play like that. So it's a different fit. Just like if you ask me, could Ben Wallace come to the Nuggets and what he does with Jamal Murray and them, I said no, it wouldn't work because he'd have to score about at least 15 points. So it wouldn't work. 12 to 15 points and a different tempo. But he could run. They just wouldn't be as effective as offensive team. But it really is a good question and it really loans itself. So I'm glad that was asked. But I don't think if you replace Jokic on those Ben Wallace teams in the OOs that they win more than what they did. Because they come out the East, but the West, I don't know. And again, his styling. But you let me know what you think below in the comments. Please hit like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like and hit that membership because when you do requests like this come true, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.